What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. I'm sitting here today with my good friend Gomez, or Jonathan, as some of you know him as, but I don't know if anyone calls you that in Redemption community, but
There's a lot of
and
J's out there. It's probably better to go as Gomez.
right, yeah, yeah, but it has to be a soft G, no like Jomez. You don't want to confuse anybody, yeah. But Gomez, Jonathan was the booster draft champion at Nationals this past year, and so we're going to be sitting down talking about his experience with that, just Nationals 2025 as a whole, and then also specifically Booster Draft. We've got his deck right up here that he drafted. You might already be asking some of the questions I was asking, like, wait, that's seven heroes right there that I'm seeing, and also this reserve spot's completely empty. That one's not as surprising, but the seven heroes thing, that's uh, to me that was like wow, and so we're going to be talking about all that fun stuff with Jonathan, getting his perspective and draft experience, and yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Before we dive into that, though, I'm going to do a quick shout out to our sponsors over at Your Turn Games. If you're interested in picking up any of the cards in this draft deck, which there's nothing too crazy, but or if you just want to pick up the card supplies so that you can do your own drafting, do some practice for next nationals or your next tournament, then you can head over to Your Turn Games and pick up some of those supplies that you might need for that. Be yeah, be nice to them and give them business, and it also kind of helps support the channel too. So that's something I'm happy to talk about with Andy. Uh, you mentioned that you did play Andy in Booster Draft, and
Yeah, yeah, round six.
and now I'm going to call you out for saying that you remember nothing about the game.
Nothing about the game. I'm sorry, Andy.
It. I think I played. Uh, I know I played Andy at nationals, and so now I'm kind of throwing a shade on myself and say I don't even. I'm pretty sure it was in Booster Draft, but now I'm wondering if it was Type One, and I'm just forgetting if it was later in the tournament. So yeah, I guess I can't throw too much shade. But what I can say is that it's always a joy to play against Andy because he's such
Yes.
a gracious and fun opponent, and will definitely give you a challenging game. So unless you ask nicely, then he might be like, no, no, like I'll go easy on you. He's that kind of nice guy. So definitely happy to send people his way for redemption business and also redemption fun. So the other thing I do want to mention is that the Cactus Game Design fundraiser is still going on. These cards are not available on Your Turn Games at this point, so this is the only place where you can get them. And much to my surprise, the serialized foil borderless Second Coming and Three Woes, also textless, didn't end up in the soup of words to describe them, but they're also textless. These are still available. They're still a handful, and I think it's almost literally a handful, like, between five and seven of each of them left at this point as the last update that we got. So there are a few of them left. I kind of expected these to be gone by this point, but they're still here. So
Wait,
if
so
you
they added more cards? I'm sorry.
no, 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 it's just the well, the fundraiser 2 stuff is still available.
What?
Wait,
I
when
forgot
when
this
you said
part.
you picked up a set of these, were you talking about?
I meant like the OG ones that came out. I did not realize there's another fundraising too. Wow,
Oh
that book
man.
is amazing.
Well, it's a good thing that
OG Butler or
you're
Burial.
you're not just watching the video, but you're part of the video, so you get to. So yeah, there's the serialized Second Coming and Three Woes. There's only 25 of them of each of them. So
Oh,
now I think the last update they said that there was. I'll just pull it up. They said on the 4th, so what was that, Saturday? They said there were six second comings and five three woes left. So
Wow.
by the time you're watching this video, maybe there will only be four and five of these left because Jonathan's just figuring out that this is a thing, and I think the next
$100
call
to make your roots card.
the next call after me is going to be to the wife to make sure that but yeah, so these are still available. So hopefully, me making this video will help some people be aware of that and be able to have their opportunity to uh, spend $200 on some cardboard that we love to do.
Yes.
Yep.
Not just that, like I didn't realize they got like Mayhem, Burial, Buckler, Gabriel,
Yeah,
all
man.
these
OG
races.
art Gabriel. It's pretty
Yes.
sweet.
What
They
ability they go with? You can't read it.
got some new Meek
Oh, the new
Daniel
one.
Lost Souls. Got a new storehouse, but unfortunately, it's not the like OG storehouse ability. It's the Israel's Rebellion ability because the OG
Awesome
one
art
wouldn't
though.
fit.
Like all the art for these are awesome.
Yeah, yeah, these are pretty sweet. So, well, now you know. Now everybody else
Yeah.
hopefully knows. So, yeah, if you're interested in picking up one of these serialized copies, you should go and take advantage of that before I decide to buy out the rest of them because I think they're so cool. But not that I have the money for that, but we'll see. I had to spend $200 on a new car battery today, so that was
Yikes.
that was fun.
I just did the same thing. Not quite as much.
Yeah.
125 and it was like a lawnmower battery because I have like a Honda Fit.
Oh, sure.
It's so tiny. It's still so expensive.
Yeah, I was at AutoZone and the guy was like, he was showing me the options on the screen after he looked up my car, make and model or whatever, and I was like, wait, what about the $120 one right there? And he's like, oh, that one's got the 600, uh, whatever the unit is that they say like crank units or something like that,
Oh yeah.
and I needed 650, I guess, and I wasn't in the mood to be skeptical, so I was just like, all right,
It's
well,
important up north too, right? The cold cranking.
yeah, is it that? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, cold crank something. Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll take his word for it. So you guys in the comments can let me know if I got scammed or. But yeah, I mean, I suppose going into winter here now that it's getting colder, I probably it's probably for the best to spend a little extra on that, not have the same problem I did this morning where you know, car would not start. So anyway, enough about that. I suppose we should talk about the booster draft experience and just Nationals 2025 in general for you. So, um,
Yeah.
let's just say sometimes you get to be a little bit out of the loop on redemption happenings, such as the fundraiser. And I think it's maybe safe to say that you were a few months before Nationals a little bit out of the loop on what was happening at Nationals and where it was and all that kind of stuff. So do you want to just kind of describe your experience leading up to Nationals, how much credit you want to give me, and things like
All the credit, 100% of the credit. It's all your fault.
that?
No, literally, I had zero plan to attend nationals. Talked a little bit with you before, but selling the house and I got a new job and it's just been really busy. But then you just kind of threw out a message like, "Hey, like we're getting an Airbnb. You coming up the nationals?" I was like, "That sounds great. Let me ask the wife," and she was on board. Um,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Well, okay, this is happening." And I was like, "Well, I probably should get to a tournament before nationals to be somewhat ready because I think at that point it'd been like a year and a half since I played a game, which is
sure.
shameful. Not that I nothing against like anything, just trying to be more present for the family and just being busy. I love the game to death. I never want to stop playing, but
Yeah,
sometimes it just has to take a back seat. But I just kind of had this little opening that you gave me, so I took advantage of it, and I was looking at tournaments I can try to get myself to before, and there's a Southeast Regionals. I think that's right,
Yep, yep.
right? Yeah. So I went there and got destroyed by everybody there in every category except sealed. I got I got first for sealed, which
Nice,
is
nice.
yeah, I did not like sealed, but
So I remember that day because that was the same day we were having a tournament up in Minnesota. I think it was just it was maybe our state tournament or something, I think. And I
yeah,
remember getting a call from John Hendricks. He was, like talking about some, ruling questions and stuff. And, if he watches this, I'm sorry if I'm, triggering some bad memories here, but I just remember him saying something about, yeah, and then like Gomez was doing this, and I was like, wait, what? He's there? Like Gomez there? So I was pleasantly surprised that I was like, okay, he said he's going to nationals. If he's going to this tournament, like it seems like he's committed again. Like he'll be there.
yeah. And I'm really glad too because I had not boosted with the roots cards.
Oh sure,
And I think that was like really critical because well, one, just getting exposure, right, and experience, but two, it's like there was just so many things in the roots that I was like looking for. And one of them was mainly artifacts like stocks, poison of dragons. Yeah, I ended up getting one of the stocks, and Grail. Uh, I didn't realize just like how powerful those are.
yeah,
I just always remember like before 100 million years ago when we played Booster, you would not draft an artifact unless it was just like really synergistic or something really powerful.
right, yeah,
But um, but yeah, some of these new roots ones is like because the one of the ones that I got really punished by. I was playing a game with Jeremy was Poison and Dragons,
oh yeah,
and that you could just keep activating it. It's like not
yep,
like was the other one like a use two or something and goes away? I don't know, but this one isn't.
yeah.
And
I don't think there ever
it's
was a good Poison of Dragons. Like, I don't think the old one actually like did
no, I don't
anything.
think it was good. I was just like I was wondering if you just used it the one time. Oh, it was always an enhancement.
No,
Okay,
that's
that's
right.
why.
Yeah, this is the first time as an artifact. Yeah,
But yeah, just and that and stocks just as hitting a character. I mean, is crazy.
yeah,
Um, because like you can capture like what I learned at nationals, you can capture animals, you can capture demons, you can capture symbolic characters. It does not matter
yep. Any
whether you
character.
can rescue those or not. It will matter.
Yeah,
But so yeah, did the regionals. Funny enough, did not do good at the booster, but learned a lot. And then afterwards, I'm really so grateful for like the what the community is now because I was like, man, I need to like catch up as soon as I can. So I like binge watched a bunch of your videos. I started I didn't know like as I was like leaving the game, like Babuni Tim was like rising in the game, meteorically, like, just like shot up to the top. So I started like consuming a bunch of his content and
yeah.
watching stuff and so just trying to get as prepared as I can with like new stuff, new cards. And but your booster draft video, I think that was like the really key one for me. 'Cause I was like mainly like with like you said you talked with Josh, right?
Yeah,
Knit
yep, yeah. Josh Bennett. Yep,
and Kennett.
yep.
I'll never I'm sorry, Josh. I tried.
It's
I'll
the
never remember.
the only thing that like triggered it in my head. It was like when I hear like the last name like Knutson or something because I had like a Knutson as a one of my teachers growing up, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's how names like that, with the KN are
Well, they train you your whole life to ignore that KN,
right,
except for these little.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, I remember you were saying that like Josh's philosophy was to like focus on battle winners, And so I really took that to heart, and then not only that, like with the change with, the change of two-player drafts, it's been years now, but, you focus on a little bit of defense too. So that's kind of like what I had in mind, like when I was drafting. It's like, okay, let me get my battle winners, line those up with the heroes, make sure I still have a pretty decent defense. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So couldn't get into the Airbnb with you guys because I had to bring my family. Boo.
Had to bring your that
Had to bring
was
my wife and
that was funny
children.
because like when you told me that your wife was and like you were bringing the family along, and at first you were kind of like, oh, I still want to stay in the Airbnb with you guys. I was gonna like,
Yeah, no,
I don't know if that's gonna work out.
that was literally craziness. Well, I wasn't initially planning on doing the regionals, but I went to Alabama by myself, so like I didn't want like 2 weekends almost back to back where the wife had the kids all to herself. So
Sure, yeah.
I was like, I feel like I had to bring it. But then at the same time, it was kind of brutal. Like it was like a 14-hour drive with them in the car and
Uh,
2-year-old and
your car
the
that
cell
doesn't
phone
have AC,
monsters.
right? I think, you know.
Well, it failed on
Or
the way there.
that's right. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I got it fixed. I got it fixed on the ride back. Yay me! I'm terrible at anything mechanical, so that was really God sparing my children. Um,
That was yeah,
but yeah, but and I think another thing I'll mention before we talk about any games or anything, but I also had this kind of different mindset that I kind of had a different at different nationals, in that I was just like just gonna have fun.
hmm,
Like I wasn't putting any pressure on myself. I was like, you haven't played in a while. There was no expectation to do spectacular. I just wanted to have fun, enjoy the fellowship with everybody, uh, which is my favorite part of nationals. Is
yeah,
just seeing everybody, seeing your redemption family.
for sure.
So yeah,
Yeah, and
that
then
was
you got
everything.
there and was like, well, I mean, I want to have fun, but if I got to win booster draft, I'll do it. Like, just
Yeah, which is even funnier because we had that player draft, and I picked myself. And I was a little salty I didn't get picked earlier because there were some children that were picked before me as a player.
hey,
And
but
so I
like
felt like
you,
Michael Jordan when he was on a baseball team. Like, okay, like I know I've been out for a while, but I'm still Michael Jordan. Like, not that I'm anywhere near like the top player, but like, I was like, I'm not that bad. Like, really, you're gonna?
I think, yeah, I don't know what like the mindset was of people like drafting other uh, other players because like I mean I guess Hendricks he got drafted
Mhm.
pretty early on I think right yeah and then did
Even Tyler
Tyler
got
get
drafted.
did
Yeah,
did he get
he played
drafted
two
before you
days.
yeah hmm. So yeah I don't know I mean hey but it worked out
Yeah, we're.
almost for Team
If
Gomez
I would have got that player change rule too a little sooner, I think I would have actually taken that too. But I think John didn't bring it up, and then coincidentally won. So
yep yeah
we'll see.
weird yeah but
Weird.
hey it was at
Love you,
least
John.
I think it was at least a more competitive uh, fantasy draft than the previous year, where it was, very it was very close with the people that weren't John. So, you know,
It was a lot of fun. I didn't think I'd have as much fun doing it. I don't know if he'll let me do it again next year. Well, I hope he kind of picks different people so
yeah.
everybody gets to experience. But
But you hope that you get drafted earlier next year, is what you're
yeah, yeah.
saying.
Come on, guys. Now I got a first place. I got a plaque now.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, here's another thing that you may not know if you're if you didn't know about the the fundraiser uh, information or the more stuff being added. So for one, the fundraiser is actually like working toward Roots 2. So now that
yeah.
you've gotten your exposure with Roots 1, that's what we're raising funds for as well as packaging for stuff. But another thing that is has recently been announced is that nationals next year will be in Wilmore, Kentucky, July 20. is that weekend? The 22nd through 24th, I think.
Is that Brian hosting?
Uh, that I don't think that's been announced yet. Who's actually hosting? But
Only a 5 hour drive from me.
you can make you can make whatever inferences you might, being that it's in Kentucky. John Hendricks was the one who put out the video uh,
Okay.
on YouTube or like the kind of the promo video. So I can send you a link to that. You can check it out. But it's pretty much just gives you the information that I did, except it was more exciting and you know
John does good with that stuff.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, let's talk about your drafting approach. Some of the games were there. I mean, you talked a little bit, I guess, about your like seeing the value in some of the roots cards, focusing on the battle winners. But I guess were there, I don't know, kind of any other like I don't know, combos, specific cards you were looking for? I'm just looking at the deck
I
here.
always I always try to keep an eye out for Soul Gen.
Yep.
I think like that's huge. But the only guy I had for that was Barnabas, and then kind of Self
Oh,
because you can
sure.
shoot
Yeah.
over captured evil, and that's a really big keyword, evil. I
Did
I
you
made a
miss that at
misplay in one
first?
of the games and tried to capture like somebody's hero to them, and they just like kind of let me do it. And then I looked at the card and I was like, "Oh, that says evil. Hey, guy, I'm sorry, I'm cheating." Um, no, we took that back. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so I always try to look for soldier. And funny enough, I try to have more heroes than what I had. Like 7 heroes is not nearly enough. I think it only worked for me because there was only one game I had a kind of a hero drought. But I always kind of drew one anyway. And then because like I had so many clay enhancements, like if I just got one clay person, like it was enough to probably get through some battles. But
Yeah.
um,
That's where Poison of Dragons really comes in handy, though, if you're for
yeah,
your opponent. Like, oh, he found his one hero. No,
yeah.
just paralyze it.
Um, but I just noticed kind of early that orange wasn't getting picked, clay wasn't getting picked. So I just and brown and like look at those brown enhancements. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
The-
Hunger is absolutely insane because we all have mink souls. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
so I always got to negate and banish a character and then draw two.
Yeah.
And another thing is like, I always kind of flip flop whether I want to be at 50 or 56 with booster draft. I feel like 56, you kind of drought them a little bit more, but I think with so many new like Soul Gen cards now kind of in there, I don't know. I focused on 50 just to like make sure I got to all my stuff. Um,
Yeah. I think
but
with how many cards we did draft, I could see a bigger deck being viable. But I think kind of the general philosophy is like, because like there are going to be cards that are better than your other cards, and so you
right,
want to maximize, getting to the best cards, even though it's not going to be as important in booster draft because we don't have, Son of God, Second Coming, that kind of stuff to draw into. But you've got your battle winners that actually do something, that are better than if you just had like a clay enhancement that you're just putting in there for numbers or because it I don't know, discards an evil enhancement or something. Like it's not going to be worth putting in. I think in those extra slots, but because we drafted enough cards, you might have been able to still have like a cohesive deck with enough cards that were good and not as much splashing going
yeah.
on. But
I think now that I think about it, I think I did try to keep it at 50 so I can try to get to like people like Barnabas and stuff because like yeah, that's the one thing you don't want to get sold routed.
sure,
But
yeah,
it was never I never really had an issue with that. I don't know if it's because I just because the way my deck is, like the games can stretch out and ooh, it's telling me that I need to restart my computer right now. We are not doing that.
appreciate it.
Postpone that. Yeah, I just wanted to, I can kind of hold the play like when I watch my game against Jacob and Luke, like I realize like I could, kind of hold off the onslaught in the beginning. Well, except for Jacob. Jacob was like 3-0 to me, I think, in the game, or 3-1, like really early.
Mm,
Like he really had me on the ropes, but then eventually, like my defense kind of like started doing its thing, and I started destroying all his heroes with like stocks and stuff. So it was like I was able to like keep in. So you know, luckily, soul drought was never really a big deal. And then only one game I think I was hero droughted, but then
yeah.
myself and I used Holy Grail to give me a guy. Which like almost every game I used up Holy Grail stocks. Madness kind of always sends itself to the reserve,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And
um,
you've got a couple of, well, mainly just the one guy who's kind of interesting to convert. I feel like, Zolofa had. I guess you can draw one with Wandering Israelites and get good initiative, but
which shout out to
Zolophax seems
Jeremy
pretty.
because like if I drew into souls, like I just went to draw mode. Like it was like if I had souls already on the table, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna draw, just get my resources. Like it's not like I can put them back in the deck. So like Wandering Israelites to Zolfad was awesome.
Yeah, that's
Like
pretty
draw
sweet.
three every time, and then a low initiative guy to play Heman's plot on.
Yeah,
Like Heman's plot is so brutal.
yeah, especially because it banishes itself. So if you just
Banish
want to take out
itself.
their defense, like,
Yep.
yep,
And that was the thing too. It's funny. It's like some of the things you learn as you play the game. But like I remember as a kid, like you didn't really think that way, right? Like you try to banish the guy in battle, and then they're in special initiative, and then you do all that.
right.
Then I remember like playing like people like your brother. It's like, all right, I'm gonna use this plot, and I'll destroy your three guys in defense. It's like, wait, what? And then plot's gone, and then it's like, oh, another battle.
Yeah, yep,
And that's how mainly I use plot. I mean,
yeah,
I usually just either destroyed their offense that wasn't in battle, so I know I wouldn't have those guys come in later, or take out their defense so I can just walk through. Like,
yeah. Just kind of playing the long game,
hmm
especially with this one that can be negated. Like old school plot, you'd only play it to take out their other stuff if you had something else to win the battle. But with this one, I feel like take out their territory, even if it means you're gonna give up a soul, but it's kind of the
yeah,
long game play. And then also like, man, Cage, like this card is pretty nuts for booster. Negate and a battle
good
winner.
card. Yeah,
And
so yeah,
territory
negate
class
the
for
battle.
some reason, just a
I used
utility
that
card.
one time. Who did I think I had to bounce somebody. I can't remember, but yeah, I remember like I think I need to actually bounce somebody. I think it was like a Canaanite situation. Like,
Oh, sure.
yeah, I wanted to get rid of KOT because in my game against Jacob, he had a battle winner that worked off having a Canaanite.
Oh, yeah.
And so I bounced
Nice.
my KOT to my hand to get around that.
Yeah.
Which I learned. Me and Jacob learned together. A captured KOT is still a Canaanite.
Right. Yep. Yep. They keep their identifiers.
Yeah.
Yep. And their
Learned
names. So if you got something that's like if David is in play, he's still in play if he's a captured hero.
But yeah, just defense wise, like everybody was so solid except Devourer. He was garbage. I would have cut him. I literally never used him. He was just there, and if anything, he was kind of bad because like if I put him on the table, he made Legion just a slight. No, wait, is Legion NT
No, it's
demons?
just
Oh
number
no,
of your
just X.
demons.
Yeah, so I put him on the table, made Legion a little too big, and usually wanted to keep him as small as possible.
Sure. Yeah.
But I used just about everybody on that defense. Red Dragon with the interrupt, it's crazy.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
world,
And yeah, corrupted and yeah. I suppose you could do like Red Dragon corrupted, or I guess it doesn't need to be a Red Dragon, but corrupted to do it on their hero, and then you can use Cage to bounce it back and get corrupted back. Use it again. Yeah.
is that a thing? Does corrupted go back to my hand?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that one?
It's still controlled
Yeah.
by you. So yeah.
Ooh, I should have done that. I had two of them.
I mean,
But
if uh, you might have been better off just using Cage as your battle winner instead of trying to recycle corrupted, but just
oh, shout out to Self because he got rid of a woman of the Bez in my territory.
oh, nice.
So yeah, I love that card.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's important against the that. Well, I guess Brian had like the or no, that was in sealed deck that he had the 20 shekels with one of the best.
yeah.
Like that was just
Well, Jacob had a woman at the Bazite, so
okay.
stealth is a way to build generate a soul and get rid of that.
Yeah.
Um, is his name Adonijah?
Yep. Yeah, Adonijah
Yeah,
or
he
Gabe, as
was
some say.
amazing. Yeah, the Gabe. I was gonna say that. Um,
If you
he
know,
was
you know.
amazing blocker. I mean, just always somebody to ban to
Yeah.
is crazy. And then it's OT humans, so you could snag their offense or their defense for a ban, and then sometimes they have to kill their own hero to get through Antonija.
Yeah. The one thing
Which
that I realized kind of, or well, I mean, it kind of came up, I guess, fairly early on, and after Roots is released, is that if you're playing a Brown defense, this guy you can't ban to your own stuff a lot of the time. Like I don't know if you had realized this, but uh, if a convert ability, it has to target a character that is not the brigade it's being converted to. So
oh,
like
okay.
so Adonijah can't convert a single brigade OT Brown human.
Okay. Well,
If
I literally never played it that way. I always tried to make sure if I was putting him in that I was grabbing one of their guys.
yeah, yeah, I mean that's the way to do it anyway. Like, but just for
No, that's good that you
that,
told me. I didn't know that.
yeah, that's something that I remember it coming up where I was like, oh come on, like I'm using all my guys. They didn't have anybody down for me to convert or something like that. Like, or maybe they're NT or I don't know something. But I was like, how do I not have any targets for this guy? It might have even been a multiplayer game too. I don't know, but yeah, if they have Brown and another brigade, then you can because it still changes. Basically, it just has to be able to change their brigade identity or whatever, like change from brown and black to just brown or something like that. I feel
Is
like
that
pagan
so?
sailors. Sorry, we're gonna
Yeah. So
keep going on.
no, you're good. I wanted to bring him up. Yeah, he was the best part of my defense.
Seems pretty
He was
OP
my
with stocks and madness.
yes, it was crazy. Joe Andrighetti, like he noticed like right away like how deadly that was, like, and he like skipped like multiple turns knowing that if he just he didn't have a band, he would just get stalked or madness. And then in that game with him, I realized that you know I can use pagan sailors to trigger madness. Madness goes in the reserve, and then I have the hero Hilkiah who can pull
Oh yeah,
madness out of the reserve, and then in your discard phase you can just set madness back down in your artifact pile and rinse and repeat. So that was such a brutal strategy. Like later on, like I think Joe was like my fourth game, so everybody after that had a way harder time.
sure, yeah, yeah. Hilkiah, he seems like I mean, it seems like one of those combos that's like if it comes together, then that's awesome. Especially if you got battle winners for him. But I feel like a lot of times yeah, I suppose he can ban to Amariah too. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
you bet. Like play. But I
Yeah,
was I was really skittish with Benaniah. Like I wanted to like make sure like they had nothing at all to like be able to like put up with against him. Like so I made sure like if they were banning because you see I only have two purple enhancements and one of
yeah,
them doesn't even work on him. It's just numbers. Um, so yeah, I usually just went in with the clay guys early on and wore them down. And then towards the end of the game, would just push in with Ben and I looked at my games against Luke and Jacob, and it's like I realized like, man, I could have just pushed in Ben and I the whole time.
yeah,
Probably won. So that's my number one tip: draft Ben and I.
yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot of modifiers in roots, and
Yeah,
if they do have modifiers, then a lot of times they're very specific characters, like Heyman's plot. On Heyman, you got Godspeed with John, so it's yeah, Benaya's got a lot of potential in booster draft, especially if you can get just a couple weapons to go with him. Like you got David's chariots, you can have a negate that isn't stopped by him, and yeah, that's pretty sweet. And you got Potter in the clay that you could play on one of your clay guys to increase Benaya in your territory.
Oh, I never thought about that. So funny thing about Potter and Clay, that is the first card I took.
Really?
And
Okay.
the reason why I know that is because I opened up my Prophecies of Christ pack and I had Destruction and Nehushtan in there.
Uh,
And I passed it up to take a battle winner.
and you were talking about all these great artifacts from Roots, and you know how.
And then it dawned on me later. Part of me was like, there was like an RLK at the table, so I was like, it'd be really funny just to like see his reaction, like getting the U push to him.
Yeah.
But Dario was in between me and him, and Dario just straight up took it.
Oh
And
man,
I asked him about it
come
later,
on,
and he
Dario.
looked at me, he was like, "What did you take over destruction?" And I was like, I couldn't remember at the time. I couldn't even I didn't even have an answer for him, and then it ended up being Potter in the Clay. But I thought it was actually kind of really cool because one, I love that verse just in general.
Yeah.
That spiritual imagery is just so wonderful, and that actually it was actually a really I think I every battle I played it I won.
Dang. Okay.
Because in battle it's so brutal, right? Like you go up XX, number of cards in your hand, and they get decreased. And usually I decreased them to 0 right off the bat.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and then if your guy survives, it's a permanent. So I think in one game I played on Daniel for like 10. So I had like a monstrous Daniel.
Nice.
I almost never used him. He
I
was
only
just
got two enhancements for him, but the negate evil
yeah,
characters is pretty sweet.
yeah. When I did use him, it mattered, because he's kind of like a battle by numbers guy.
Yeah.
Um, but
Nice. Well, I
but
think
yeah,
I don't want to take the time to go through all of your games. You kind of mentioned a couple of them already, like your games with Jacob and Luke. And if you want to check out some of those games that were on live stream, I think you were up at the top table on stream.
last two.
Was it just two games?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can check those out. I'll put the link to the live stream in the description. But are there any other notable games that or interactions or anything that you want to bring up? We played what, 7 rounds,
It was like,
something like that. So you ended up tying two of them and then winning the rest of them. So do you want to, I don't know, talk about some of the
yeah,
ties, how those games went? How did you end up there? How did they beat Benaya or
nobody beat Benai. Yeah, actually, I don't think I ever got him. I don't think he ever got defeated in a battle I had.
Wow,
And it hurt even more that like I got him as the card, like like the
the winter
first place.
promo, yeah.
Yeah, and then because of some of the finance things I'm going through, I ended up selling it. But I was like, I really didn't want to sell that card because I was like, man, you're the
Yeah,
reason why I won.
yeah.
Um, But my first game was against Sam, who was in my drafting pod. I've seen him at nationals before, but didn't really know him, and I got to really know him this nationals. He's a really great guy. We're like same age, like same number of kids. I think he has all boys, I have all girls. So like we really kind of like bonded
Oh, sweet.
this nationals, and we played also. I think Steel together, or I think every day we almost played. But really great guy.
Hmm.
Um, my game with him was 5-1. So it
So
was
it's
really
even
brutal.
better, man. No.
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy. He's kind of like Andy, It's just like it was just like really great game 'cause he's just a good spirits, and he was like rooting for me the whole time, the
Yeah.
whole day. So it was pretty awesome. And then round two was John Hendricks. He also built like a really defense heavy deck. So we just smashed each other for that whole time, and we timed out 1-1. Um, yeah.
Nice.
And
That's
then my
great.
next game was Elijah Andrighetti. That was 5-2 for me. I don't really remember too much other than just feeling bad for being a little kid. But
Hey, but
but
hey,
he's a smart.
he did pretty well.
He did really good. Like I say that, yeah, and he's a really good player. And then I played his father the next round,
Yeah.
and me and Joe had a thrash out. I've never met the Andrighettis before,
Hmm.
so it was also just really good just to like talk. You know, me and him are both fathers, so you know we're joking about our kids and you know playing this really great game. So, but we also tie 3-3.
Nice.
And then speaking of fathers, I play Kai Murphy the next round,
Yep.
and his game was like really brutal. Like we were really going back and forth, and there was just like a moment, like or really the whole game, like it was just really uneasy. Like I didn't think I'd get through, but I won that one 5-3, and then round six was Andy. I think we did we mention that or was that before the video?
Yeah,
But
we,
anyway,
we we talked about it a little bit.
yeah. So it was, I don't. Oh, talk about I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But
You don't
that
even
game was
remember
five.
talking about the fact that you didn't remember.
Bummer.
We love you, Andy.
Um, yeah, love you, Andy. But no, yeah, Andy's a great guy. So I'm sorry I don't remember any of the game. But then round seven, Jacob Arrowwood, 5-3 for me. That was by far the hardest game I had. Um, Phillips Philip's deck was insane, and I'll get to that later. But
Yeah.
Jacob, like, that game with him was like I watched it on video, and I was like watching it on video. I was getting nervous. Like, am I gonna lose? Like, wait, no, I know I win this. But
That's
like
good.
he got to three souls really fast on me, so it's like it
Yeah.
was. But I kind of remember a moment in that game where it's like I kind of just like kind of locked in and was like, you know, even though like I'm you know I'm on the top table, I'm on the camera. I usually don't do well playing in front of the camera, but I kind of just like forgot about it, and
Hmm. Nice.
um, it was a really challenging game. Like I'm really glad I had that game with him because it made me feel like I earned it, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah. For sure.
um,
Yeah.
and then you know and looking what was cool looking back at the game is like you know I kind of saw his hand you know a little bit like it
Oh
would
yeah.
dip in the camera view a little bit, so I was like just seeing like how he was like playing around me and stuff. I was
Hmm.
like, man, if you would have played that instead of this, I would have been in trouble. It was like vice versa, but
Yeah. But
and
you know,
then
there's no way you could have known, and yeah,
yeah,
it's cool. So wait,
so
so to clarify, was it Luke or Philip that you played in
it
the?
was Philip.
Okay.
I said Luke a million times, but it was Philip.
Okay. Yeah, because
Um,
Philip was the one who got a Chariot of Fire and a
Area of Fire, Israel's Rebellion.
yeah.
He had who's your favorite banish guy? Banished from discard pile to protect souls.
Oh, dubious doubters, is that?
No, the Edomite guy. He's kind of like in a lot of meta decks in the reserve now. Like they
Oh,
play this in the odds.
there's
You go to
Husham. He's the banished from
push
discard
him.
pile to discard all. Yeah.
Yeah, he had two of them. Um,
So his deck was
he had
stacked. I mean, like,
yeah.
Philip is a good
Philip-
player in his own right, but you could see that the reason he was up at the top table
Yes,
was not just because he was a good player, but
I mean amazing draft luck.
yeah,
I think even though I beat him 5-1, I feel like if the cards played out, you know, different, it would have been very easily a much more difficult game for me.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Amazing nationals tournament overall, and I wish I would have done as good that first day as I did the other games. But I felt like I was like on cloud nine the other days. Like since I had the win, like there was nothing like you know like
this is all we need. Yeah,
yeah, that's all I need. I finally got one after I think my first nationals 2016, which is
oh,
where I placed second place in booster. So it's a nice
nice.
kind of full circle moment for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
that's
and
really cool. Well, thank you for hopping on for talking
yep,
about breaking this down, all of it, and uh, I'm 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 glad that you were able to make it, and we were able to catch up, reconnect a little bit,
yeah,
and I'm glad you reached out about doing this video, talking about the experience that you had and how you kind of came back from the shadows and were able to take this win. So that was pretty sweet. So
that was awesome. Thanks for having me.
You bet.